when the Philippines saved the Jewish. Now look, I know this isn't music based, and I feel like I just wanted to do this just out of just curiosity. I find it really intriguing. This is an open door Jewish rescue in the Philippines extended trailer. I'm excited to watch this because genuinely its history is very important, and I feel like it's like very respectful to kind of get into this. So without further ado, let's just please get into it. Whoa, I'm scared. Oh, she's so cute, dude. I love old people. Am I the only one? Like, they're so adorable. Like, I just love them. I'm sorry, bro. That's just... I just love old people. They're so cute. And they have so much experience, too.
We would go to the park nearby, and we would, by the time we were 5, we would see benches that would say, "Dogs and Jews not allowed." And couldn't quite understand what all this was about.
Craziness,
when
dude.
Hitler came to power in 1933, I was 2 years old. And my father, being the chairman of the Socialist Party in Cologne, which was one of the two parties that opposed the Nazis.
Oh my God.
The Communist Party being the other one, was accused by the Nazis of having murdered 2 Nazis.
In my mind, concentration camp, I knew it was a terrible place, and we would most likely be killed there.
Oh my God.
So it was fear, terrific fear. And we started hiding.
We were told that there was basically a man in government who was an anti-Semite and who was very antagonistic towards the Jews.
Take the train home, and very often there were kids waiting for us, older kids, as we came out of the train station, and they started running after us 8 kids and throwing stones at us and calling us dirty Jews. So I became a very fast runner.
In 1937, a group of Nazis came to the door with a German shepherd and wanted to see about the Jewish books. And my dad had quite a library. The dog frightened me terribly. It was a big police dog. And
Oh, those are scary.
Books. There were a fair amount of Jews living in that apartment house. They took all these books, took them into the backyard of the apartment building, and there was a whole pyre that was built, and
Well, yeah, they burned books, all the books.
basically burned all those books.
Oh my God, bro. I can't even imagine, man.
They took the German citizenship away from my mother, my father, and myself. So now we were stateless.
My dad was arrested, and was arrested in the Breslau town hall. My mother told me that, told my brother and I that my dad was away on a trip, on a business trip. Really never divulged that he had been arrested, and but cried bitterly, and we couldn't understand why she was crying.
My father was told by the Nazis that he had to get rid of all his houses. He could only take 100 marks out.
It makes me so angry,
the
dude.
implementation of the Nuremberg Laws and depriving all German Jews of their German citizenship. This that enabled then the government to confiscate businesses, to confiscate homes, to appropriate all their assets. It was not a physical extermination, but it was
No, bro.
a social annihilation because it annihilated their place in the social fabric of German society and treated them as non gratis, as foreign enemies living amongst society.
A movie that made me cry was Schindler's List. That movie was spectacular.
My father's family left Germany in 1939, so it was late. And in fact, my father's uncle, Walter, with whom he was very close, was actually taken by the Nazis and killed in a concentration camp. They were well-educated German Jews who believed that this was not going to affect them.
When we got this telephone call, we packed our bags, we left within an hour, and all of our furniture, everything else, pots, pans, dishes, whatever was in the kitchen, we left behind. And we never went back there.
I thought any minute they're going to stop the cars and send us off to a concentration camp.
A new law came out that
Scariest thing
German-
ever, bro.
Aryans were not to go to Jewish physicians or not be treated by Jewish physicians anymore. And then my father realized that the time is up and he should better start looking around for another country to take him.
When we boarded the ship, it was a bit exciting for me. It was sort of an adventure, and I felt somewhat secure. I had my brother there, I had my parents there. I know I was going to a new country, but it was somewhat exciting.
Well, yeah, as a little girl or a kid, probably a Philippine president with his Jewish and American allies finds a way to set it right. Oh, here we go, man.
Izon, like most Filipinos, was Catholic, and yet he developed an affinity for Jews because he felt that there was a sort of a symbolic brotherhood between Filipinos and Jews. That is, that as the Filipinos were the recipients of racial discrimination and bigotry on the part of many Americans at that time, that the Jews were similarly the recipients of bigotry by the Nazis. And so even though Izon had extremely important and critical political and economic issues to wrestle with at this time, he was willing to take a stand to help the Jews.
Good man.
My father applied to the Philippines, but didn't know at all where it was, what it was. All he knew was it was somewhere in the Pacific. So he looked up his encyclopedia, which was published in 1898, we found out later. And he read that this was an island discovered, or set of islands, 7,000 islands discovered by Magellan. It's under the Spanish crown. Spanish was the national language. So naturally, we immediately started studying Spanish.
When we got to the Philippines and we're staying in the boarding house where there are all sorts of different people, Filipinos, mestizos, Caucasians, etc. To me, there was never any distinction. To me, they were all people. And to this day, I feel that way. But it was never a distinction to me.
And I was very impressed because we rode up Dewey Boulevard into Pasay, and it's a lovely beach, lovely beaches.
Yes.
Beautiful banana trees. And,
I can't wait to go.
There were the polo grounds, I remember.
One of the things we did fairly often was go to the movies. And there were half a dozen good movie theaters in the Philippines. The Lyric, the Ideal, the Gaiety Theater.
Wow.
I would say we probably went to the movies maybe once every couple of weeks.
The games that we played were mostly Sipa. Sipa is, it's a round metal thing with strips of paper, I believe, and you kick it with your leg. And the one who
Hey,
could kick
soccer,
it the
bro.
most, of course, was the winner.
Yo, what?
When you
got
saw
moves.
how the doors were basically closed to all of us except the Philippines, and how the Filipino people are a very warm people. They're a very
Yes.
friendly people. We learned Filipino songs, and there were quite a few performances. Art
Yeah.
was very important. And Filipinos have very, very good voices.
I know. My whole channel now, look at.
My father spoke often of his Filipino friends and recounted things that were these small moments, but clearly moments that for him were all about friendship and happiness and something that was very lighthearted.
As we were sleeping in the middle of the night, the house was shaking as if there was an earthquake. Everybody woke up. So we ran outside and stood in the street while the houses were
Oh
shaking.
my God.
But there were these large booms, booms, booms.
What do you
Turned
even
out
do,
that
bro?
We were being bombarded by
This
the
is-
Japanese.
We had daily air raids. They were awful. It was groups of 4, 4, and 4, which you could barely see, exceedingly well trained. And of course they bombed at random, and it was a very frightening experience.
I could only like imagine this, bro. It's like waking up to sounds like that, man. Waking up or just chilling
Shortly
and hearing that.
thereafter, all of our friends that were either American, Canadian, British, or French, which were the Allies, enemies of the Japanese, were rounded up by the Japanese and interned at San Tomas.
The irony of this is that these refugee Jews from Germany and Austria who had passports identifying them as German Jews are not arrested by the Japanese. The Japanese don't care if they're Jewish. They have a German passport. That means that they are an ally, and they are not arrested, and they are not interned or incarcerated.
Bruh. Liberation? Manila? Yeah, dude.
I really did not want to leave. That was my home. That was all that I knew. I was there from the time I was 7. I was there for almost 9 years. And that was my home.
Oh my God.
For me, the Philippines, it may not be my motherland, but my adopted motherland.
Oh, that's
Because
beautiful.
If it had not been for it, I would not be the person that I am now.
Roosevelt and Churchill saved Western civilization. But Quezon, and so few people know that, President Quezon of the Philippines saved 1,200 Jewish souls, as many as Schindler, maybe even more.
Schindler's List.
And that is the
movie.
epitome, basically, of Judaism. It says if you save one soul, you save mankind.
My goodness. A fantastic, super important video that I hope just gets out there for everybody. I mean, incredible. And just knowing, like, oh my God. Like, I watched Schindler's List like 3-4 years ago. And I remember just crying, man, at the end. Oh my goodness. If you haven't watched that movie, please watch it. It's in black and white. It's not like black and white because it's old. They put it in black and white. And at first it bothered me, you know, because like, oh, why black and white? But it won't bother you throughout the movie because of the purpose and the storytelling and just about everything. You're trying to figure it out. And oh my goodness, the ending. I don't want to spoil it, but you should. I'm telling you guys, please watch Schindler's List. I cried. You would probably cry at the end. Oh my God. Yo, I'm about to cry just thinking about it. And just hearing this too, oh my goodness. I'm glad that I watched this because it's something that I know that not a lot of people know. Not a lot of people know this. That is insanity to me. And I didn't know it. That was insanity to me. And I had to figure it out. And I wanted to make sure that I get it out there as well and have a reaction with you guys. So you guys watch it with me together. And yeah, well, with that being said, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hey, if you liked it, leave a like. If you loved it, subscribe. If you want more, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.